Putlitz, introducing today's science and weather report about El Nino. El Nino is a disruption of the ocean atmosphere system. It is located in the tropical Pacific Ocean. It occurs when warm water current is replaced by cold water current. Rain that usually falls in wet places starts falling in dry places. In wet places, droughts start to come. In this graph, we see the differences between the usual weather pattern and the El Nino pattern. Contrary to unusual pattern, the El Nino pattern, winds blow westerly in the direction of South America, increasing the amount of precipitation in coastal areas so that it is more probable that El Nino will happen there. At the same time, there is a climatical high in mid-Asia. The previous El Nino events are 1957-58, 1965-66, 1972-73, 1982-83, 1986-87, 1991-92, and 1997-98. 1982-83 was the most severe El Nino, and 1972-73 the weakest one. This graph shows the differences in occurrences of El Nino events between December and February and June and August. Taking a look at the different colored areas on the world map, we can determine where there is how much precipitation. In the warm and dry parts, droughts can develop, while in the wet and warm areas, it is more probable that hurricanes or tsunamis can take place. Statistics show that in the northern Pacific there is more precipitation than in the southern Pacific. That means that there is more rainfall in the north than the south, and more droughts in the south than in the north. The most affected countries by El Nino are Hawaii, Tahiti, Peru, Australia, and Malaysia. The average affected are Chile and California, and the least affected, Alaska and Canada. In El Nino years, the wind patterns are inclined in such a way that the vertical wind shear is increased over the Caribbean and Atlantic. The increased wind shear helps to prevent tropical disturbances from developing into hurricanes. In the eastern Pacific, the wind patterns are altered in such a way to reduce the wind shear in the atmosphere, contributing to more storms like hurricanes. When an El Nino happens, people have to flee their countries. There's less tourism because of the fear of getting affected, and the infrastructure gets destroyed, and the country has less money. My prediction is that the next El Nino will occur in about 2 to 7 years, because the previous El Nino years happened about every 2 to 7 years. When an El Nino would develop off the coast of Africa, coastal areas would get flooded, everything would get destroyed because the people don't have money to rebuild everything, and thousands of people and animals would die. There's also something else kind of like El Nino. It is called La Nina. The differences between them is that El Nino is characterized by unusually warm ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific, and La Nina by unusually cold temperatures. Thank you for watching today's science and weather report about El Nino, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.